Safira Dom reporting there. Right, love always comes with a price. You can say that again. That's the captivating and mind-blowing story in Unchained, a movie about Ryan, a young Nigerian man who hopes for a better life in the UK. In London, his relationship with classy Shanti falls apart because of his lies, cheating and violence. As anger rages within him, he goes in search of Shanti. His actions lead to terrible consequences for him and his family and friends. I'm joined now in the studio by Unchained producer Abigail Irving and lead actress Tolu Yesufu. Before we speak to them, though, let's take a look at what the film offers.
Get out of my house, I say!
I just want him to move in with me. You don't mind.
You want me to move in with you?
That guy is not used.
There's nothing wrong with this guy. There's nothing wrong with Ryan. The guy is okay.
They're going to ask you what happened to your head. You tell them you fell down the stairs.
So, the office is not enough. You must bring her to your place as well. Break your power.
So, thank you very much for coming in today. When it came to the inspiration, then, Abigail, for this film, what gave you the sort of, I guess, creativity and drive to make this? Because it's a very powerful plot, isn't it?
Yeah. Basically, I feel I can pass this message across to so many people, and which I believe it will help the young ones growing. And yeah, it's about young men being violent, you know, abusing their wife in presence of their children and all that. But basically, Ryan was raised up in a Christian home. So he got infected in university in Nigeria, which, you know, he disappointed the family. So when the victim happens, and the parents decided, I think the best way for Ryan to further his education is in UK. So they were hoping that when he get there, he's gonna have a good life, and, you know, based on, you know, UK is where there's so much laws, and you know, so they expect him to have a good life when he get there. So when Ryan came over to UK, his life didn't change before he now met this young lady called Shanti.
And that's, I see, your role in the film,
yes.
Shanti Tolu.
Yes.
So this is a big role for you then, in that sense. How did you channel the sheer sort of emotion and I guess, depth of the character to play this part?
Actually, it was a bit challenging for me because it's quite a very strong storyline. And when I got the script and I got the role, the call, and said, you know, they wanted me to play this role, I went through the script and I said to myself, oh my God, this is going to be really, really challenging because it involves a lot of abuse, physically, emotionally, verbal abuse and all that. But I did a bit of research about it. I spoke to a few people I knew had been through such things in the past. And then I just said to myself, you know what, I'm just going to throw myself into it because it's got a lot of message that one could pass across to, you know, both the young and the old people in the, you know, in the community. So I said, well, it's got a good message, so why not just do it, you know? And I felt really humbled and privileged to be given this role by Abigail. And yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's nice to hear. I mean, is it based on anything true within your sort of spheres of life? Is there anything you can see that, you know, within this storyline that's applicable to real life?
You know, I think in real life it does happen, you know, not just in the African community, everywhere. We have women abusing their husbands, we have husbands abusing their wives, but it's just that in this story, it's now the husband abusing, you know, not just his wife, but everybody again, you know, everybody around him.
Sure.
His daughter, his family members, his friends, you know, but the thing is, it comes across as this very nice and charming young man. When you meet him, you know, he's very, very hardworking, but it sort of kind of like loses focus easily and gets carried away. And when that happens, his violent nature comes out, you know, and it gets very, very bad.
So at one point in the story, without giving sort of too much away, we can give as much away as we want, if you like. But at what point does it all go wrong for him then? Where's the turning point, do you think?
Basically, where is wrong for Ryan is that the parents expected him to have a good life after he fell victim to in Nigeria, in Africa. So the parents were expecting much from him to further his education. That was the priority. And that was the basic reason the parents decide, oh, Ryan, you need to go to abroad to further your education. But when Ryan get here, you know, it feels that it's like Africa. There's no laws, there's no protocol. Even if you do anything wrong, nobody's going to ask you. Nobody's going to. So, yeah, I'm not going to give too much because I expect people to come and watch it on 10th of July, which is this Friday, you know. So, but this message is very good for young of them out there growing, the women who is into relationship, and most people who is in a marriage that are facing one or two things. So it to encourage them, as in to have a good life, to change their life, you know, to live the life, get your life focused, to do the most priority that you know you have to do in life.
Yeah, because there's always a consequence for every actions. For everything you do, there's always a consequence for it, either good or bad. So, I mean, at the end of the day, life is about the choices that you make. And no one is responsible for whatever you do or whatever happens to you after your actions. You know, you are responsible for it. You have to take responsibilities for it. And unfortunately for him, the law caught up with him because it went a bit too far. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's sort of like a message as well that no matter what you do, there's always a consequence. No matter how long you've been doing it for, it will definitely catch up with you one day, you know. So,
and that message, I guess, the consequences of the choices you take in life, is that the message you'd like to come through from the film? Okay. Where do you think the sort of balance sort of lies in terms of searching for love for this with this character, or the turn to the darker side with violence and domestic abuse? I mean, it sounds like there's two sides to the story within this film. Which one do you think comes out more?
It's good for people to be very careful, you know, for choice they make in a relationship, most especially women. This message is for women. You know, you can't just stick to somebody who abuses you every time and you call that love. Love's supposed to be tendering, you know, caring, you know, loving for you, caring, you know, be your hero, not abusing you every time. So to me, marriage is supposed to be everlasting and happy, you know, to be happy together. As Bible have said it, a man who find a wife, find a good thing. So men have to realize how important we women is in their life. And when they have that opportunity to have any woman in their life, they have to cherish that woman. And also women, we need to be very careful. We have to understand that our man is the king. You know, man is the king, and we are the helper of the man. So we need to be obedient to the man. But what happened? The men have to understand love brings submissive. When you love somebody, it will be submissive to you forever. You know, so I really want people to come and watch this film because they're gonna learn a lot. And anyone into this relationship, facing it or going one thing or the other, you will take courage and you will change your life.
So you think it'll be a very powerful thing for women to go and see?
Women and men.
And men as well.
It will be, because another thing is, you know, there's always, you have love, and then when it starts going a step further, people, you know, men or women could tend to start getting kind of like possessive, and then they get obsessed. And when it starts getting to that stage, then that is very, very, you know...
The obsession stage.
The obsession, that stage is quite, you know, it's the dangerous part of the relationship. Because with Ryan, he's actually capable of loving. He's a very loving young man. He's very caring, you know.
But he becomes obsessed with your character.
Exactly. That's it. That was what happened. So he doesn't want to let go, but he's not ready to treat you right. You know, he only wants to treat you right when he feels he should, not when you know, not when you expect him to. So it's all about his controlling nature. But it's actually he was actually capable of, you know, loving and caring for his ladies, but it's just it went a bit too far.
Sounds like a very captivating film. So this, of course, made for Nollywood. Is there a difference between making films for Nollywood than for different markets like the UK and Hollywood, maybe?
Yeah, there's no difference whether Hollywood or Nollywood, they're all the same. The most important thing is being united, you know, and getting focused, bringing out a good story that will help people and interesting moving, you know. So it took me 18 months to produce this film. There's so much challenges in it, there's so much problem, you know. Sometimes I feel like, oh, I shouldn't go on, but I know I'm a child of God, so I know God always tell me, you need to go and help people, because I feel this is the only way I can pass my message across to people, and it's going to touch life. A lot of people going to change and have a good life.
Absolutely. And just a quick reminder again of when it's being shown and when it's going to be out on general release. It's the 10th of July, you said, didn't you?
Yes, 10th of July is the premiere on Friday night, 8 p.m. So I expect everybody to come.
Yeah.
Let them come. They will be happy, you know,
Lovely.
to have a film like this.
And the Odeon Cinema in Greenwich.
Thank you very much indeed for coming on. I really look forward to it. Tolu and Abigail, much appreciated.